Hey guys, it's Michelle from Scrap Secrets and welcome to another crafty video. So in this video we are going to be using some dies from Mama Elephant. This is the favor bag die, so we're going to be using this big one. I cut it twice out of pink cardstock. We are going to be using a bunch of scraps, this is the second scraps project that I've done so far. And we are going to be using the favor bag add-on dies for the dog. I cut most of these out and I'll show you them. They're over here so you can see. And then we also used the bow from the favor bag add-on bunnies die set. So I've already done one of the panels. I wanted to just save a little bit of time. So here it is. We are using the Simon Says Stamp Falling Hearts stencil because I haven't used stencils in a while. We're going to be using 3 colors of distress ink. We're going to be using Abandoned Coral, Picked Raspberry, and Worn Lipstick. Worn Lipstick is the lightest, Abandoned Coral is the darkest at a red. We're also going to be using some Antique Linen and some tea-dye distress ink for the dog, as well as probably the Picked Raspberry. So stay tuned for that. We are going to start off with the Abandoned Coral. So I've already taped my stencil and my paper down, or my die cut down. So we're just going to ink it up with some of the distress ink. And this is the Abandoned Coral. And I kind of have an idea of where the colors were on the last bag. As you can see here, I have, you can kind of see where the last colors were. And then because the hearts are not straight across, it kind of gave me a good point to reference on where I would start my color mixing. So kind of where it starts the newest pattern here is where we're going to do Picked Raspberry into the Abandoned Coral. So it helps when you have stencils like this. It gives you kind of a natural stopping point from one color to the next, or where you can better figure it out. It's a little bit easier. Now this one I'm going to use as the outside flap for the connector bags. So the other one I taped up here. I did not tape this one, so you're going to be able to see the hearts on the side because that's what I wanted. And I'm going to bring this Picked Raspberry up a little bit into the Abandoned Coral. And then we are going to go into the Worn Lipstick. So I've already set up all of my distress ink blenders just to make life easier on myself. You usually don't feel this organized when I make videos. And I apologize, I'm trying out again a different angle. My camera setup is terrible. I have to find something new. And I know I keep saying that, but I just haven't had time to go out and actually do some research. And I've watched videos, but I haven't actually gone out to the store to price things or looked on Amazon yet. I'm going to do that hopefully tonight and come up with a better solution. So this one actually looks a lot darker than the other one that I did. So we are going to peel this tape up pretty carefully. I don't want to rip it. I don't think I will, but it should be fine. This tape is from Hobby Lobby, and I'll show you guys. It's a little bit less sticky than washi tape, and they come in rolls like this. It's pretty cool. And I've been able to use them a couple times before I have to throw them away. So I'm going to put this stencil away. We'll wash it later. Just want to take my table and wipe it off a little bit because I can see the hearts in here. So I'm just going to take this is the sprayer that I give the cleaners when they're here. It's just sprayed with water. Oh no, I got it onto my die cuts. Okay, well, let's move them over to the side, let them dry off. That's why you should probably use like the Tim Holtz sprayer or the Mini Mister. I keep saying Mini Misty, but I don't mean that. I mean Mini Mister. I think that's the second time I've said that today in videos. So anyway, so I'm going to let this dry for a couple seconds, and then I'm going to show you the pieces for the dog. So the background, this is the main piece for the dog. Here's the dog's head. Sorry guys, I'm trying to just make the light a little bit better. I'm so sorry about this lighting, it's terrible. Here's the dog's head, and then there are 2 different kinds of ears that I cut out. There are 3 different types in the whole thing. So this is just the regular like little furry ears that stand up, and then I cut out a kraft ear and a white ear. So these ears like just kind of flap down onto the dog like this. And then there are ones that come down on the sides, like the dog's ears are in front of their face. And I just did that with my hands, and you can't see me, so I don't know why I did that. The eyes are here. They're super tiny, so I'm just going to put them over here. They're just little black cardstock pieces. I'm trying to figure out, I wanted to do like an eye patch, like a patch around his eye like this. So I might still do that with a little eye on there if I can figure out if it looks right. Here's the nose. And then I also cut out 2 paws. This is the mouth. Cut out 2 paws, 1 white and 1 kraft cardstock color. And then I also cut out this bow. This bow was from the bunny set. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take this is the picked raspberry. I think I'm going to take the picked raspberry and go around the edges. But because this is the same color as the bag, I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to take some of the worn lipstick and kind of go in and give the bow a little bit of definition. So this is, again, if you saw the video that I posted earlier today about the distress inks and distress oxides, this is why I like using the distress inks, because I can kind of give it a little bit of dimension and leave like a little highlight in the middle for the white part like of the bow to kind of give it some depth and dimension. Let's go a little bit around here. Kind of make it real light in the middle. So there you go. You can see that it really does, in person, it gives it a little bit of depth and dimension. So which is, again, why you want to use the distress inks to ink up your pieces. Also, if you go around the edges of them, like I'm going to do with this, we're going to take some tea dye distress ink and go around the edges of all of the kraft cardstock. And again, it's just going to give it a little bit of a finishing touch, a little bit of a highlight, and it helps define where one layer ends and another layer starts. It's not a huge thing, but it does make a difference on a project. I've done things with and without them, and I really do like using the finishing touch of distress inks. And I don't like using distress oxides for this because it takes a little bit longer for it to dry, and I am an impatient person. Not saying that you can't use distress oxides for this, but I just find it easier to use distress inks versus oxide. So I'm just going to go around all of the layers because I'm not exactly sure what layers I'm using. And then we're going to use the antique linen to go around the white edges, because that's just a really, really light color, and it doesn't stand out so much, but it'll help give it a little bit of a like a little bit of a shadow. And if you want, you could I obviously wouldn't use picket fence, but if you have a light, you could even use like a light gray. I was thinking about doing that, but I think that just this little bit of antique linen, it's a very light brownish color. You probably really can't even see it. Probably really won't be able to tell that I did this, but I know that I did it. You can see it a little bit on the edges. Again, it just gives a little bit of highlight and shadowing. So, whoops. I know this is the boring part. I probably should have done some of this before and just left a couple pieces to ink up like I did with the favor bag, but I didn't think about doing that. So I don't think I'm going to use these ears, so I'm not going to even bother doing that. I'm not going to waste my time. I will put them back in the package, and I can use them with another card. So the next thing that I want to do before I put the bag together, I want to actually just kind of put the dog together and make sure that he looks okay, and I know what I'm doing with it. So I'm trying to see. Like, I just think that the folded over ears are cute, but I don't know that, I'm not sure that I'm putting them on correctly. So I like to lay out my animals and stuff, any die cut pieces that I do. I like to have them laid out before I glue anything down into place so that I know that everything looks right and I'm not making a mistake before I do it, before I have to redo everything. And then we're just going to put the little puppy paws down here. It's going to go one on the other side. Like it's going to go, so the ear on this side is going to be brown, and then the paw on this side is going to be brown. And then I think we're just probably just put the bow like up here. I'm trying to see like how the ears look best. It's supposed to look like they're folded over. Oh, so if you stick them up just a little bit, that's how you do it. That looks better. If you stick the ears up just a little bit, not right up against the thing. That looks so much better. Okay. That's how we're going to do it. And then we might put the eye on then. So I'm going to put glue everywhere but the very, very top of this, because the top of the ear is going to stick up. Oh, so cute. I think I put that over a little bit too far. There we go. Again, same thing for this side. Should we try the eye? Let's see. Oh, that looks so cute. Yep, we're going to try that. We are going to try to put this. I could put the eye on straight. Working with these little pieces is never easy. I do have one of those sticks that has the adhesive on the back of it, but since I'm cleaning my craft room, I have zero idea where it is. It might be in a toolkit somewhere. It's probably something that I was like, oh, I'll put away and I'll know exactly where it is. That's my biggest problem, is now that I'm cleaning the craft room, I have no idea where anything is. So if you have something like that, or some tweezers, this would definitely help you with the assembly of this puppy. So I'm not going to stick it right underneath the nose. We're going to leave a little gap. And then the same thing with this, I'm only going to put glue up on the top of the paws. I probably should have put it on that side, huh? Put the paw on this side so that it's kind of balanced. Oh, shoot. And this is what happens when you're rushing. I got some distress ink on the puppy's face. So there's one of two things I can do. I can actually take a little Copic marker and just make some cheeks on there. Or I can try to, there's actually three things I can do. I can try to erase it if I have an eraser around, or I can try to get some white pen and go over that. So this is normally why I tried to clean my hands in between, but I was rushing, and since it's a video, I didn't want to take the time to stop and do that, and then that happens. So let's see if I can put some white pen over it. If that'll kind of blend it in. No, not really. Let's try a white gel pen, because sometimes the white gel pen works. It just kind of looks dirty. All right, we'll see if we can erase it or scrape it off somehow. So then we're just going to put this kind of stuff happens to me all the time. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue for the dog's bow, just so it kind of flaps up too. It's going to give it a little bit of dimension, and I think I might put some rosy cheeks on this dog just so that it's not noticeable. That's not noticeable, because it is very noticeable at this point. Okay, put this off to the side, and then we are going to do the favor bag. So it's been a little while since I've done this, and I don't remember exactly how to put this together, but we are going to learn together. Like this, and then we're going to take this piece, do the same thing. There's a piece in the middle that's going to fold like an accordion to give the bag a little bit of give in the middle. So normally I would take these and crease them with my bone folder. So you're going to take this piece and not just kind of, not score it, but just kind of press it so that it's bended. So when it, let's see, so when you go like this, the bag actually bends in a little bit. So you're going to want strong adhesive for this, and I'm going to put, this is going to be the bottom, so this piece we want adhesive on. Just trying to figure out what pieces we need adhesive on and what ones we don't. Also going to bend this in a little bit. This little accordion fold. You'll be able to see it better in person. There's like a little triangle fold here. So for the one flap here, you are definitely going to want to put adhesive on this, because this is going to fold over. And then these are going to tuck under here. So both of these little pieces get adhesive on it. So then this piece I'm going to put on here, because you wanted this one to be the bottom. So this piece, the first piece, this is going to get adhesive on here. And then I believe both the side pieces will get adhesive on it, because it's going to go into the bag like this. So yes, both of these side pieces will get adhesive on them. And then what you want to do is glue the bottom piece together first. Make sure it's as lined up as it can possibly be, which mine, of course, is not. We'll just shimmy it. And I'll put, this piece is going to go in here and line it up and try to keep it as square as possible. Same thing with this one. Make sure you line the edges up and try to keep it as square as possible. And then you're going to do the last side. As square as possible. Probably should have done was put the dog on first, but didn't think of that. So here is the bag. And now we're going to have to put the dog on. So that was my mistake. You probably should have put the dog on first. So the dog's going to go like that. And there's the favor bag. So, oh, you guys can't see it. I'm going to put this up a little bit. So there is the favor bag there. There you go. So again, I apologize for the lighting. I definitely am working on that. I'm working on a situation. The mount that I had kind of fell apart. So I have to come up with a new solution. So, but anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. That was the second project that I've done that I used my scraps on. The first ones were cards that I started. This one was last night. This is the first card that I did with scraps. And then the second one that I did with scraps is not finished yet, but it's over here. So I am working on Valentine's Day cards. So I am using my scraps, so I'm doing pretty good with that challenge. So thanks for coming along for the ride with that one. And I will see you guys again real soon in another video. Bye!